Listening to East Coast FM with me, Jillian Godsil, and next I'm going to be talking to a Wicklow-based woman who was in Croke Park again, but not this time for GA. She was there this week to accept her prize for the All Ireland Business All-Star Foundation in Thought Leadership and Digital Strategic Marketing. Very impressive. Jill Lush of Lush Marketing joins me in the studio. Good morning, Jill.
Good morning, Jillian. Thank you very much for having me with you today.
You're very welcome. We were just saying, great name. We're sharing the name, and you, because your surname was also quite unusual, Lush, but you're actually nothing to do with the Lush Cosmetics.
Nothing to do with the cosmetics. A lot of people do ask me that, but no, we're not related. No. It's purely our family name. Yeah. And I cheated, I suppose, in terms of keeping that then as the business name. I didn't have to think too much further than that. No, it's a super name. I mean, it's very, I mean, obviously, you. I mean, I love Lush Cosmetics. Everybody does, except for David Norris, who calls it the smelly shop, doesn't it? Yeah, exactly. But it is a good association because it's a good conversation starter as well. And they actually do some quite interesting things themselves in marketing. Like, they book the trend in terms of they actually have exited social media themselves recently this year. So it's a trend kind of, I would watch, I suppose, what they do in terms of marketing. Don't always agree with it, but it's certainly something interesting to watch and does spark a few conversations for my own business then as well. Yeah, well, it's interesting because I say my kids love Lush, and I love them too as a result, but they love them because they don't test on animals, and their ingredients are very pure, and I mean they are a good one. But back to you. So you had this amazing award, and it's a very big title. What was it again? It's a bit of a tongue twister.
Thought Leadership
Ireland Business All-Star Accreditation, and it's Thought Leadership in Digital and Strategic Marketing.
Wow.
So put simply, I suppose I was in Croke Park. It's an All Ireland of a different kind.
Yes.
But it is actually still presented in Croke Park, which is a nice association, I suppose, and pun on the All Ireland Association. And it is accredited to businesses, albeit now you have to go through quite a rigorous process to get the accreditation, that it's not just awarded to everyone. So I went through an interview process myself. I had to present them with customer names and contact details, and they contacted them for quite vigorous references. Thank you very much to the customers that did supply the references, because they were glowing.
Brilliant.
And I didn't ask them to be glowing. I literally just handed on the details, so it was lovely to get the lovely feedback from them. And then vendors actually were contacted as well. So
very thorough.
Very thorough. It's a very thorough process, and it takes a good few weeks to do now. They are quite efficient at doing it. It's kind of about a 6-week process. I think it can be shorter sometimes, but for me it was in around 6 weeks.
Wow.
And then by the end of it then I was told, yes, I had received the accreditation in the Thought Leadership, and they were quite impressed with my approach to digital and strategic marketing, in the fact that I offer digital and traditional marketing to customers, but marketing strategy is kind of my passion. So that's where that came in.
Now, you weren't always an entrepreneur.
Not always.
No, so tell me a bit about your backstory.
Yeah, so I started my career when I left college in AIB. I did my business studies degree in DCU, and always had that kind of entrepreneur business blood, I suppose, in me from those days in DCU. But I started out in the graduate programme with AIB.
Oh, that's very impressive, because that's hard got.
Yes, I thought I'd last about maybe 6 months and do something different, but I didn't. I stayed 17 years.
Oh my goodness.
Worked in lots of different...
That's a full career, isn't it? 17 years.
It was a full career.
Wow.
Now, in fairness, I met some great people during my time there. Did some great jobs. Like, I didn't stay in the one job for the 17 years, moved around an awful lot. And my last 5 years actually were spent working with business startups, ironically. And I suppose that's where my real passion, I suppose, for the startup side of things came through, that I loved working with startups. I had done massive research in that area, and I understood kind of the pros and cons of being a startup entrepreneur. And then when I had a difficult pregnancy basically before I was made redundant from AIB, and when the opportunity arose, I said, look, now is the time to take it. I always said I'd take it if it was offered. Obviously it was uncertain times ahead.
Because your partner, your husband, he's also self-employed.
He is self-employed, yes.
That's not easy. It's for two people in the same household.
Absolutely. I'll give him a plug here. Graham Lush, Eco Plus Electrical. He's a very busy electrician. But it is very hard having two parents self-employed in house when you're trying to keep a mortgage going.
It's in your blood, though, isn't it? Your grandparents, you were saying, were entrepreneurs.
On both sides. So both my dad's dad was an entrepreneur, a serial entrepreneur. He did great in business as well. And my mum's parents ran a hardware store down in Kerry. And they literally did it from when they were young up until when they were very old. They were very old, retiring from the business in their 80s.
Wow, so, that is a good age. But I suppose when you're self-employed, it's kind of hard to hang up the old clogs, isn't it?
Absolutely. So I suppose that entrepreneurial blood is in the veins.
You'll be working till you're 80.
I know, it's a scary thought ahead. But anyway, the thought of pensions there from previously is kind of sparking little triggers in my brain there.
So tell me about Lush Marketing.
Yeah, so Lush Marketing then was established. When I became redundant, obviously I knew I had to do something else, that I wouldn't sit around doing nothing for months and years. So I had the opportunity to do a postgrad in digital marketing, which I did. And when I started the postgrad, I had to do an assignment basically. And the assignment could be on any business, and it could be on a very early startup business. So when I asked them, could I do it on my own business, they said, absolutely.
Very clever. Yeah.
I thought, why not kill two birds with one stone? And created a marketing strategy for my own business as my assignment. Got great results in it, which is great, and I'm actually still applying all that strategy today in the business. So it was like a 5-year strategy for predominantly digital marketing, but there is traditional marketing an awful lot in my blood, I suppose, and in the veins as well, and that comes through very much in the work I do with customers.
And are you by yourself? Have you hired anybody?
I haven't yet. So I am a solopreneur, I'm a mumpreneur, but I haven't actually employed yet. It is my plan to grow the business and to take on employees, albeit they'll be working remotely like myself.
But decentralised businesses, that's always the way to go, isn't it?
It's the way forward, absolutely. So I hope kind of in the next 12 to 24 months that I will be growing the team, yes, and will be beyond myself.
Well, listen, congratulations. It's a great achievement, and it's lovely to hear the story about your traditional career and how you pivoted into being an entrepreneur, and you will work until you're 88 now.
I'm sure I will.
That's the bad news. But congratulations. That's an amazing achievement. Thank you very much.
And best luck with your own IMRO award as well.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Very kind. Thank you. Appreciate that. And coming up, are you aged between